Hello, beautiful soul. I'm Sharon Svenson Hypnosis, and welcome to my series, The Joy Shot, little inoculations of love to nurture your positive mindset. Because what I know, the softer, lighter thoughts that you can find serves you. Not only do you feel better, not only is it better for your health, both your physical and mental health, but it's going to allow you to have your life go better, to access your wisdom, your clarity, your inner guidance. In this joy shot, I want to focus on a 5-second tool that you can use, self-hypnosis, in your daily life to turn things around when you start to feel yourself go to that place of maybe anxiousness, unsettled, uncomfortable, frustrated, overwhelmed, whatever those uncomfortable emotions are, and to turn things around. And you can use it in all kinds of different ways. For instance, I think of this one fellow who came to these workshops that I did to learn self-hypnosis. And he came back on the second one or the third one, I don't remember, and said, "Oh my gosh, I totally turned things around in this wedding party I was in." That he was something like the best man, and all kinds of things were going wrong. People were getting very anxious and fearful. And he used this self-hypnosis technique to stay in this very centered and peaceful and aligned state. And he said he was that voice of reason. He was able to redirect people to the positive, to solutions and answers. And he could see how his well-being poured over onto others. I just love that story. And I have seen it again and again used in all kinds of different ways. Like, for instance, one client just shared that she went to a place where I think it was her left side completely went into this Charlie horse. And by doing some other techniques I teach, where she redirected to a comfortable part of her body, she started to see things go away. And then she did the self-hypnosis, what I call this one technique I teach, the love technique. And she completely felt comfortable again. And she said literally within minutes. So let's do it. Let's jump right in there. I start off teaching it with something that we're all familiar with, that I think is universal, which is a sigh. We know how to sigh. So just start off with a sigh. Yes. And I hope you're experiencing this, that with the sigh, you can feel that there's a lightening, a softening within your body, what I call your energy. So for instance, you can tell the difference between how it feels with what I call your energy when you're angry, and how it feels when you're light and happy and appreciative. They're different feelings. So we're going for a light feeling, a softer feeling. So again, just do the sigh breath. Let's do that again. Literally less than 5 seconds. I'm not timing it, so maybe it's a little less than 5 seconds, a little bit more, but it's somewhere around there. So now I'm going to add the hypnosis part. So what I'm working to do is to bring these positive connotations and connect them and associate them with your breath, so that you go back to these light, soft feelings. And again, I've found even people that come in and say, "I've never been happy. I don't remember having any good thoughts ever. I was born into a terrible childhood, had all kinds of awful things happen to me, and it's just not possible for me." I remember one client who said Oh my gosh, Sharon, you keep saying these words like love and softness and happiness. And I don't even know what you're talking about. She was so far removed from that. But during the hypnotic process, I was able to take her into that hypnotic state and go back to those good feelings so that within each of us, you have experienced those joyful, light, and soft feelings. So don't be concerned if you're doing this and you don't feel those good feelings yet. I know when I first started yoga, I had trained myself up to not pay attention to my body and what it felt like. And the yoga teacher would come and correct my posture and say, how does that feel? Can't you feel that? Can't you feel that you're in alignment now with your body? And at first, and really for probably about a year, I said, no, I can't tell the difference because growing up, we weren't asked, well, how are you feeling? Do you need to back off? Can you push a little harder? It's like, just get the job done and get your chores done so that I had trained up my body to not pay attention to it because I didn't really think I could do anything about it. So that's the same with our feelings. If we feel awful and we think there's nothing we can do about it, why bother? Just ignore it. But with the self hypnosis, it's so beautiful because when we do ignore those awful feelings, our minds are accommodating. They want to find other awful thoughts, and it can start to escalate and feel even worse. So that if we can catch it sooner and go to those light and centered and peaceful thoughts, it can just be completely life changing for us. So take a beautiful sigh breath. And on the exhale, go ahead and close your eyes and imagine the sound of my voice lets the muscles drop and relax and settle. Take another comfortable breath. And on the exhale, just kind of feel things dropping, effortlessly relaxing, releasing, just like if you blew up a balloon and you just let the air out. So you don't have to force it, just let it go, let it release. Take another beautiful sigh breath. And on the inhale, imagine your body opens up, almost a sense of a dry sponge placed in water where the cells of the sponge expand as it soaks up the water. And we're going to imagine more of a spacious feeling in the body. And let it be okay if maybe you don't quite get this or understand it. Just be willing. I'm willing to feel good. I'm willing to be able to feel lighter, softer, freer, because it feels good and it works better. Again, take another beautiful breath. On the exhale, close your eyes, feel things settle and relax, and imagine your body, your energy starts to rise. And that can be a feeling of imagining or thinking about a hot air balloon that's untethered, that's released, and it just floats up. Imagine your energy, your body getting super relaxed, super heavy, and your mind feeling lighter, softer, freer than it's felt in a long time. And again, I've seen people that in the beginning, they're like, I don't really get this. This isn't really working for me. I don't feel anything. Or others, it's like, oh my gosh, this feels so wonderful. So, whatever your experience is, I promise you that you really do have that ability. That kids, you might see how they can go to that place of centeredness and peace so much more quickly. Once again, take a beautiful breath. As you exhale, kind of imagine that your body, the muscles relax, sink, drop, get heavy, settle, melt, get comfortable. And your mind just feels light, soft, free. That built in within you is that desire to feel good. So, what I love is just by having the intent in yoga, it's like, well, I would like that. I would like to be able to be in alignment with my body. So to move it in ways that are healthy for it, that bless it instead of working against it. Because even though I was learning to ignore it, there is a lot of pain and uncomfortableness that I had because I would move it in ways that weren't good for it. So after a year, I started to feel it's like, oh, yeah, I think I do feel a difference. And it started to come in place. So I eventually reached a place where, oh my gosh, I can tell. I can tell when I'm moving my body in harmony and when I'm not, when I'm doing it damage, when I should back away and do something differently, or when it's okay to kind of move past that uncomfortableness because it's building up the muscles. And it's the same thing with your emotions, that just because we feel uncomfortable, by going to different thoughts, we can go to a place of more harmony, more comfortableness, more well-being. Like, for instance, I think of when I resisted going to yoga. It was early in the morning and uncomfortable feelings would come up, like, oh, it's too early and I don't want to do it. It's hard. But I would go to a place of remembering and looking for softer, lighter thoughts of, this feels right for your body. It's going to do good things for it. That once you get going and you get up, those uncomfortable feelings of not wanting to get up will go away. And that afterwards, after the workout, it's going to feel so good. And then eventually it's going to lead to a more comfortable body. All right. So I hope this has been supportive and helpful. Come back to the Joy Shot, and there's other tutorials to guide you through the process. I have another series. I've got these 33-minute Joy Shots where I weave you in and out of hypnosis, meditation, and self-hypnosis so that it can become a beautiful tool in your life. So if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe or follow my YouTube channel, Svenson Hypnosis, and check out the different playlists. Okay, blessings and love.